Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Sophie Erber. Pharmacies across this country will be able to soon vaccinate eligible Americans starting next week. Now, the Biden administration announcing today these shots will be shipped directly to thousands of stores. Our Jesse Chinur reports on how this will impact the state's challenges with their vaccine rollout in our top story at 5.
Get more shots in arms.
To do that, the Biden administration announced vaccines will ship directly to select pharmacies starting February 11th.
So you can make an appointment and get your shot conveniently and quickly.
Jeff Zients, the White House COVID-19 response coordinator, says about 1 million doses will first go to 6,500 stores nationwide. The administration hopes to expand to 40,000 pharmacies as production of the shot ramps up.
Sites are selected based on their ability to reach some of the populations most at risk for severe illness from COVID-19.
This is expected to help alleviate concerns state health leaders shared with Congress about inadequate vaccine supply.
They are ready and asking for more.
Tuesday, Louisiana's Health Secretary Dr. Courtney Phillips and other officials told lawmakers they need to know how many shots are available to them, along with additional funding to make distribution efforts more equitable.
We don't want to leave any group behind.
Democrats like Colorado Congresswoman Diana DeGette and Republicans like Virginia Congressman Morgan Griffith want states to be able to speed up their vaccinations.
We have no time to lose. We must act with a sense of urgency.
There is work to be done to vastly improve the rate of doses administered.
But Congress has yet to reach an agreement on the next coronavirus relief package. In Washington, I'm Jesse Chinur.
Also tonight, the Biden administration announcing states will start receiving that promised increase in weekly vaccine doses, along with reimbursements for pandemic-related expenses. And we're learning tonight 3,000 people in Phase 1B registered for a vaccine on Monday through the Siouxland District Health Department. The department telling us that those appointment slots were booked solid in just a few hours as people registered online. But some Siouxlanders say they missed the cut because they have no access to the internet or to a computer. So coming up tonight at 10, KCAU 9's Lydia Vasquez explains what the health department is doing now to provide better access to people who are wanting a vaccine. A possible extension of the mask mandate set to expire in Wayne at midnight is up for debate by the city council today. Right now, city leaders are saying health officials and medical experts are meeting with them to help make the right decision. And if the mandate is extended, the council will decide if they need to set up a new expiration date or if vaccinations will be at a percentage close enough to end the mandate. We spoke with some area residents today about what they hope this outcome will be.
I like the mask because I have an autoimmune disorder and I feel like I need to protect my body. Otherwise, it's just negligent for me.
I think it should be optional. You know, some people don't like them. I can't breathe in them. Makes me break out.
Coming up tonight at 10, we will bring you the latest information from that meeting, and you'll find out what they decided. Let's take a quick look now at the latest COVID-19 numbers here in Siouxland. Woodbury County Health reporting 17 new cases in 24 hours. Woodbury County currently reporting a 2-week average positivity rate of roughly 8%. In Nebraska, Madison County has about 390 cases considered active this evening. The county has recorded 75 new positives over 2 weeks' time. And in South Dakota, Clay County reports 42 active cases. Tyson Foods tonight asking a federal judge to dismiss a lawsuit filed by the family of a Fonda, Iowa man who died from COVID-19 after contracting the virus at the company's Storm Lake plant. Meanwhile, Tyson says that legislation passed by the state of Iowa in June of last year protects them from any liability for this man's death. They also say that former President Trump's designation of meatpacking plants as being critical infrastructure gave them a responsibility to operate despite the pandemic. A federal judge in Des Moines throwing out a similar request last year. This was in a case related to the death of another man, also at a Tyson plant in Waterloo. Time now to turn our attention to the weather. Also interesting today, meteorologist Marcus Beasley standing by. Marcus, if you were driving around Siouxland last night on my way home from work, I noticed that fog lingering. And as you promised, it did turn into that freezing fog, and we had that frost on the trees today.
That's right, and it looks like that'll happen again tonight, Sophie. Temperatures, they're going to be below freezing. I mean, they are now, and they'll continue to stay below freezing overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning. So expect some more freezing fog out there tonight. Highs today only reaching up into the upper 20s, so not as warm as expected here in Sioux City today. 27 for your high in Storm Lake, Wayne, and Cherokee, 28 in Lamar's. Overnight tonight, temperatures, they're only going to drop down into the mid-20s, low to mid-20s, so it's really not going to cool off too much tonight. And dense fog advisories in effect tonight from 9 o'clock until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning for southwestern Siouxland. So expect the densest fog to occur in southwestern Siouxland, but I do expect most of us will see some freezing fog tonight. I'll have more details on that and what the snow forecast is looking like coming up in the 9 on 9. Sophie?
All right, thanks, Marcus. With bitter cold temperatures on the way, a yearly fear of broken water pipes is on the minds of many homeowners here in Siouxland. We spoke with experts over at Morningside Plumbing, and they suggested insulating pipes near exterior walls, opening cabinets, and also running drips on faucets to keep them from freezing. But in the event that they do freeze, you have to act quickly.
Hair dryer. Open the cabinet and run a hair dryer on the pipes. I would rather not have somebody run a space heater or something that they're going to burn the house down with, but if they try to unthaw them themselves and they're right there.
Space heaters have been blamed for many fires. If you do plan on being out of town or away from your home, do leave the water running as a drip while you're gone. That could work. Or experts say turning off the water to your home could save you a lot of hassle in the event of a break. And traffic is flowing once again tonight in part of Sioux City after this morning a Union Pacific train had some mechanical issues while crossing Singing Hills Boulevard. It happened next to the Highway 75 intersection, causing traffic to back up and leaving some folks stranded in their cars for around 2 hours until Sioux City police could step in to clear those stopped cars and redirect the traffic. We spoke with one such driver who was stuck for more than an hour there.
I mean, you always got to deal with them at really inconvenient times, and they're really inconveniently placed. And sometimes it can take up 10, 15 minutes, but this is way worse than usual.
In an email to KCAU 9, a Union Pacific spokesperson acknowledged the incident did create an inconvenience, and they apologized to the community. A former Pilger clerk, once touted as a town hero for her work following the 2014 twin tornadoes, has now been sentenced to serve 3 years in prison. It's for misspending more than $700,000 from Pilger accounts. This is 58-year-old Kimberly Neiman of Pilger. She was convicted of attempted theft, a Class 2A felony. She was arrested and charged in early 2020 following a year-long investigation. She was ordered to repay more than $44,000 restitution to both the village and its fire department as part of her sentence. A district judge found her to be unfit for probation, but also a risk to society during his sentencing announcement. Former Iowa Governor Tom Vilsack now one step closer to serving as Secretary of Agriculture for a second time. Today, Vilsack's nomination from the Senate Agriculture Committee will now go before a vote from the full Senate. Iowa Senator Joni Ernst, who sits on that Ag Committee, said Vilsack about his position on ethanol.
Will you be directing the USDA to purchase Tesla trucks or that run on electricity, or will you be supporting our farmers and purchasing Ford F-150s that run on E85?
Senator, I don't think it's an either-or circumstance. I think there's an opportunity to advance both. I mean, the reality is we're going to need biofuels in the biofuel industry for the foreseeable future. And
an Oklahoma World War II veteran is receiving one of France's highest honors tonight, more than 70 years after his tour of service. We'll explain why the delay coming up.
It looks like tonight we'll have some more freezing fog out there. Midweek snow showers as we head into Thursday morning and an Arctic blast in the week and weekend. I'll have details on all of that after the break.
You're watching KCAU 9 News with Sophie Erber and meteorologist Marcus Beasley. This is KCAU 9 News at 5.
Thanks Thanks for sticking with us. Not seeing the sun really makes you appreciate when you can see it. So we do have a bit of a sunset tonight after a very cloudy, kind of foggy night and day.
Yeah, it's been a pretty cloudy day, but here the last few hours we've had a little bit of sunshine, which is definitely nice to see out there. The view from the KCAU 9 studio brought to you by the Port Neal Welding Company, showing those sunny skies, at least here in Sioux City for that sunset. It does look like clouds will continue to move in overnight, though. Temperatures outside right now in the 20s, 26 in Sioux City, 27 in Wayne, 26 in Yankton. Lamar's at 27, 25 in Orange City, 21 in Storm Lake and Carroll. I do expect temperatures to maybe cool off a degree or two, but for the most part tonight, temperatures should hold pretty steady. Visibility's outside reduced in parts of Siouxland already. 3 miles of visibility in Norfolk, 4 in Wayne, 8 miles here in Sioux City, a mile there in Storm Lake. So we're already beginning to see some of that patchy, dense fog spread throughout Siouxland, and that will continue tonight. Wind speeds out there are light, single digits and low teens. There's a chance of a little bit of snow Saturday and into Sunday, only a 30% chance there. And then it looks like cold temperatures continue next week. And here is our first weather picture sent in to us from Trudy Kramer in Thurston, Nebraska. So a really nice sight out there as that freezing fog creating a very beautiful image throughout Siouxland that we've had here this morning. We'll have it again tomorrow morning. So if you missed your pictures today, get out there and take them tomorrow morning. And we have a place for you to upload them. Go over to the weather tab on SiouxlandProud.com and click on Send Us Your Photos. Right there, you can easily upload all of your photographs. Let us know your name, the location of the picture, and a little bit of information about it. And it might make it here onto our newscast, KCAU 9 News.
Yeah, or even on our social media.
Oh, yeah.
And that could be fun, too, to see that on there. I really do. I'm not a huge person that's into the cold or the snow, but I do like how that frost looks.
Yeah, it looks really cool. And if you didn't manage to get your picture on air, it's on our website in a gallery. So if you want to go browse those pictures, they're all up there.
All right. Thanks a lot for that, Marcus. And folks in the Northeast celebrating Groundhog Day earlier this morning. Amid their nor'easter, that famous rodent had some bad news, too. Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow this morning at Gobbler's Knob in Pennsylvania. Yes, that's a real place, which means there will be 6 more weeks of winter. He delivered his prediction virtually this year without the usual crowd, but organizers did pipe in the traditional crowd noise and set up cardboard cut-out fans just in case that little groundhog was confused. On January 21st, President Joe Biden signing an executive order which requires people to wear masks on all kinds of public transportation. But here in Sioux City, there's already been a mask ordinance on public transportation, specifically on the transit system and at the airport since July of 2020. Mike Collette, Assistant City Manager for the City of Sioux City, says this executive order will help bring some more reinforcement on their ordinance that's already in place. If you'd like, you can read the full story because it's posted on our website right now, SiouxlandProud.com, or click this story on the KCAU 9 News app. Well, a woman who turned 100 this week receiving a special gift, one that may help her extend her long life even more. We have the story coming up in about 10 minutes, but first, a World War II gunner receiving a special award from France after more than 70 years. We'll explain after the break.
Last year, only KCAU 9's Tim Seaman and Sophie Erber gathered leaders and experts to navigate through the pandemic and race relations concerns in Siouxland in 9 live town hall meetings, keeping you informed. KCAU 9 News and SiouxlandProud.com.
Welcome back. A World War II airman has been given a special honor from France more than 70 years after his service ended. Reporter Galen Culver has his story.
For the most part, Richard Dennis Lawrence put up with the fuss of pomp and circumstance at his own medal ceremony for the sake of his family and for all the other people who helped the victors in World War II.
You mean what I think of this? I'd rather be at home.
He left home the day after Christmas 1942. R.D. volunteered for the Air Corps, and his superiors thought he was a good fit for the ball turret of a B-17 Flying Fortress.
Oh, I could still get in there. I don't know if I could ever get out again.
First to Africa, then to Italy, Lawrence and his crew flew 37 bombing missions over Europe, with him in a unique vantage point.
Yeah, I seen it all. We was lucky.
On that 37th mission, he and his crew were shot down over Hungary. Lawrence was captured and sent to one POW camp after another, marching more than 500 miles before he was liberated in May of 1945. When the bus finally brought him back to Wakita, it was already time to harvest.
I got home on my mother's birthday, June the 15th, and we started cutting wheat that afternoon.
On B-17, probably the most.
So more than 75 years later, Lawrence sat quietly as dignitaries from across Oklahoma gathered to speak. Honorary French Consul Grant Moak awarded his country's most prestigious award for his help in liberating France.
All of us in the generations that follow you owe you a debt of gratitude we can never repay.
Lawrence received the Legion of Honor as a result of a long application and vetting process, then final approval from the French president himself. RD is the last of his B-17 crew. His kind are nearly as rare as the medal itself.
In the last 10 years, there have probably been about 40 that have been presented.
RD never did leave his home place but to fight a war. He came back and lived a lot of harvests since. He likes his view of the world just fine now, appreciating all the sacrifices that got him to this place all these years later.
And we thank him for his service. KCAU is proud to announce the start of a new weekly franchise, and it's called Veterans Voices. The first story set to air Tuesday, February 16th during your KCAU 9 News at 10. Now, nominations are currently open, and we want them. So if you know of a veteran with a cool story to tell us, email us, veteransvoices@kcautv.com. And coming up in just a few minutes, a woman celebrating a century on this earth receiving a special present for her birthday. We have her story right after the break. On this day, back in 1921, Mildred Grassman was born. And today, she's getting her second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Pretty cool. Reporter Mike Sullivan shows us the special day planned for her at the hospital.
So you're going to motion to him?
21 days out of 36,500 may not seem like many.
Number 4 down here.
But to Mildred Grassman,
oh, I look forward to it.
They are the best.
I thought it was a good birthday present.
You see, today is not only her 100th birthday, but her second dose of the COVID vaccine.
I feel like a queen.
With her subjects.
I have no pains or anything.
Amazing. What's your secret?
Left just as in awe as she is.
Mildred has such a spunky, fun attitude about life.
Claire Gammons is a registered nurse at Ascension St. Vincent, Evansville.
We've figured out that the second dose of the vaccine was going to fall on her 100th birthday.
Claire turned to the vaccine clinic coordinator, knowing she had to do something.
Claire did all this. So here's who you need to thank.
I imagine under that mask that she was completely surprised.
On a day where state health says 103,000 people signed up for vaccinations in just 8 hours.
I was glad to get it.
All right, you ready?
I think everybody should have it and get them as soon as they can.
Perfect. All done.
Here's to hoping Millie sees 103 herself.
Happy birthday. Taking a live look outside now. Marcus returns with one more check on your forecast. Stay with us. Before we wrap up here at 5, let's check in first with Tim for what's coming up at 6. Hi, Tim.
Hey, Sophie. Good afternoon. Coming up in just a little bit, former Iowa Governor Tom Vilsack today gets a thumbs up from the Senate Ag Committee. That means he'll move on to a full Senate vote in his hopes of becoming the U.S. Ag Secretary again. Of course, he served in the Obama administration. Also coming up after World News tonight, city leaders in Wayne, Nebraska deciding the future of a community-wide mask mandate. The COVID-19 safety guideline was issued about 2 months ago. Mallory Smith has our story coming up in a half hour. And on a completely different note, over the years, Iowa soldiers have carried hundreds of different battle flags. At 6, a closer look at the past of Iowa's history defending our home turf, starting with the Civil War. Some interesting images there we'll share again. That's all after World News tonight. In the meantime, back to you folks.
Pretty cool. All right, looking forward to that one. Thanks a lot, Tim. And not necessarily looking forward to more freezing fog overnight, Marcus, but that's what we can expect.
Yeah, it's going to be another foggy night throughout Siouxland with temperatures in the mid-20s. Tomorrow, more clouds, temperatures hopefully reaching into the 30s.
All right, thanks a lot, Marcus, and thank you for joining us. We'll both see you back here tonight at 6. Until then, good night.